You're watching Wall Street Confidential on TheStreet.com TV. Right now, we're going to revisit one of Jim Cramer's Mad Money Lightning Round stocks, where you got a lot of heat for the New York Stock Exchange.
I deserve every
NYX.
bit of it. I deserve every bit of it. I started liking it in the 60s. It went to 100. In classic buy and hold fashion, did I say ring the register? No, I continued to like it. I violated one of my own rules. I had a great trade, and I continued to own it. And then I wrote it back down. I bought some low, I bought some high, but in the end, this has been a terrible stock. And I think it's ironic that I was accosted this weekend on the street of New York about how bad it was. And then I had a lightning round call, and I basically just said, listen, I put up the white flag. I can't take it anymore. Now, because of the way I run ActionAlertsPlus.com, I can't take it anymore. We try to rule that out. So I own it, but it is kind of ironic that on literally a day after I'm just trashed while walking down Church Street, they announce a buyback, which is what I've been just begging them for, and announce a boost in the dividend. The stock had become way too cheap, but it is ironic. It's kind of a total darkest before dawn story.
So an indication of maybe getting close to a bottom? Can we look at the New York Stock Exchange as an indicator of that?
I mean, I think it was kind of interesting. The stock at the bottom was, stock where it was at $14 billion. There's no way that Euronext is only worth $14 billion. You also, and just alone, I mean, if Euronext had not merged with New York Stock Exchange, I think you'd have a higher stock. I think the New York Stock Exchange was the acquirer basically, and is just worth much less than I thought, because they have just had the NASDAQ kill them, and they haven't been really competitive. I think the Duncan Niederauer is making more competitive. We now see, and I was fooled by this, and it's really interesting. It's better just to say you're fooled than to say that, well, they didn't do a good job. I was fooled by John Thain. I thought he was doing a lot of good things, Nelson Chai too, in terms of expense cuts, and they were just illusory. The cuts didn't exist, which is why the quarter was so bad. Now, it's really interesting. The stock went from 80 to 50 on that bad quarter. Now, a lot of stocks have just been crushed here, including some that I own for ActionAlertsPlus.com. Very discouraging. But this one, it is when they start doing what you want, the buyback, and it's traded very disorderly, and it gets down to $14 billion. You can't say, okay, look, finally I can get out of it. If anything, you have to buy it.
When that lady on the street tracks you down.
Well, look, yesterday there was a big controversy. Did I say pull your money out? I said don't pull your money out. Bear Stearns, you'll be made whole, which is exactly what happened. It was a gutsy call because typically you're not made whole if a brokerage comes down. You're frozen. And that call is immediately interpreted as being buy bear, hold on to bear. And I make a lot of calls, some good or some bad. I like to take credit for the ones that were good, which is to say that bear common, which I called a 37 worthless, but bear and keep your money in was a good call. That I refuse to take the Jon Stewart ridicule. But New York Stock Exchange, that's what you should be ridiculing me for. I believed in John Thain. I believed that the earnings would be much bigger. And I got that wrong. And that's what you make fun of me for.
All right. Thank you so much, Jim Cramer. On Wall Street Confidential, stay tuned for more.
That's your action point. Take advantage of it.